put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us live here in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. My name is Dwayne and this is a auspicious smack center middle of the weekday where we bring the youthful vibe here at Tobago Updates Television for you, the viewers, and our most a special good morning to all our most ardent viewers, from all around the world, whether you're viewing us on 1 or 2 on AMPLIA, you're listening to us on YouTube or on Facebook and wherever else, maybe through somebody else's phone. A special good morning goes out to you this morning. And if you're looking at us this morning, you are our ardent viewer. I'm also joined by this morning
Natalia. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning to all our viewers on our varying platforms. I join Dwayne in saying that this is an auspicious day, smack center of the week, and we are here to bring you that youthful vibe and vigor. Happy to join you here this morning, Dwayne.
Yes, we are on the cusp of anything great.
Yes.
For many, it might be a time of relaxation and revelry. For some, it might be a time of not relaxation and camp. And for some, they may take the opportunity to fly out. Whatever you choose to do, we want to back you up this morning and, just be safe, enjoy yourself. Life is short, and we don't bring the youthful vibes smack center in the middle of the week solely because it's Wednesday and it's about 2 days away from the weekend. But, we just here to delve into some very pertinent topics, highlight some great things happening on the island and around the world where it pertains to Tobago. But guys, we have a lot in store for you this morning. We want to go over to news in 90 seconds with Miss Natalia Nancis.
Dwayne, before we go to the news, I think we should do everybody's favorite segment first, and that is the birthday segment. So who do we have on first for birthdays?
So this morning our sole birthday hails Miss June Phillips. Good morning and happy birthday goes out to you, right? We want to, wish you a happy birthday, especially from me. I love coming at Massey and seeing Miss June Phillips. She's one of the most prominent workers there. And if you need a ride, you see she's standing in front of the new MG ZS. Yeah, the new MG ZS. You can hop on across to Massey stores at I think it's whatever it is again. Anyway, it's you
Massey
can Google
stores.
Massey stores in Tobago. It's the only Massey stores in Tobago, right? So check out Miss June Phillips and happy birthday to you. All right, so I think that is it for birthdays. And for those of you who did not make it on our birthday list this morning, we want to wish you still a happy birthday. From us, from Youth Wednesdays and the Tobago Updates television team. So again, do we have anything else? Any more surprises?
No more surprises, But I think we should give them their rundown first.
Okay.
And then we'll go over to the news in 90 seconds.
And so given that you are leading the cause this morning, do you care to give us the rundown, my darling?
I think I'll hand that over to you, Dwayne.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. So this morning we will be discussing, firstly, in our first segment, a board game championship, and we have the renowned, no stranger to us here, Johnny Campbell, a member of PRP, and Akia Gunn, coming this morning to talk about that. And then we have Miss Winward Afro Queen show 2025, and we have Jessie Taylor, the cultural officer too, and we have Kersha Kent, reigning Miss Winward Afro Queen, coming to discuss that with us this morning. This is a time for that. And then finally we have National Calypso Monarch contender, Mr. Alex Gift. So we want to just encourage you to come and listen and hear what Tobago's best has to offer in this season. And before we go on the break, we're going to tell them to do one thing, Miss Nancis, which is to
share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, 19th February 2025. As part of ongoing anti-crime operations under the state of emergency, police have arrested 84 people, including a man identified as a high-ranking gang member in Tobago. Officers in Tobago identified the suspect as a key figure in the local Rasta City or 7 gang, accusing him of drug trafficking and obtaining firearms for violent crimes. Since December 30th, officers have conducted 190 operations targeting 235 priority offenders and executing 258 searches. They recovered 4 pistols and uncovered 272 traffic offenses. Tobago recorded 2 murders as of February 18th, both solved. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine has called for more resources to combat the island's 28 criminal gangs. The University of Trinidad and Tobago has signed an MOU with the Tobago House of Assembly's Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development to enhance research and education in agriculture. The agreement aims to support local communities and national development by improving agricultural production and entrepreneurship. UTT's Biosciences, Agriculture and Food Technology programs will provide technical support to farmers. UTT Chairman Professor Clement Imbert emphasized the partnership's role in strengthening Tobago's agricultural resilience, while Chief Secretary Fali Augustine highlighted the benefits of training students locally to reduce travel to Trinidad. CARICOM's 48th Heads of Government Conference, attended by Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and Minister Dr. Amy Brown, begins today in Barbados. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen will also attend, with Guterres holding talks on Haiti and regional issues. Key topics include food security, climate change, security, and economic integration. Rowley chairs CARICOM's regional security and cricket committees. CARICOM officials stress unity and advocacy, highlighting priorities such as digital development, intra-regional transport, and global engagement in 2025 and beyond. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Miss Nancy, for news in 90 seconds. Guys, up next, we have John L. Campbell and member for Kiel and a member Kiel Gun of PRP coming to discuss their board game championship with us this morning. Stay tuned and remember to share the live, share the live,
share the live. We'll be right back.
Greetings everyone, I am Miss Kersha Kent, the reigning Miss Women Afro Queen 2023. Come along on this journey to see who will be crowned Miss Women Afro Queen 2025.
9 delegates are set to compete for the coveted title of Miss Windward Afro Queen 2025.
My name is Naomi Ramasa. Standing before you, I am Kalia Denum. I stand before you as Miss Jada Covington.
This highly anticipated pageant will be held on Wednesday, February 26th at the Sid Gray Complex.
I am Kershal Pierre.
I am Julissa Sandy.
I am Miss Kaisha Joseph. One of these 9 gems will win my crown.
These talented women will be vying for the crown, showcasing their beauty, intelligence, and cultural pride.
Salam, I am Shanicia Walker.
Hi everyone. I am
The multi-talented Kian Jerry.
It is an pleasant day to all. I am Caris Imari Manswell. Come join me to crown the new Miss Windward Afro Queen 2025 at Singway Complex, the 26th of February. Save the date and don't be late.
This promises to be an exciting event celebrating the rich heritage and vibrant spirit of Tobago. See you there. Get ready, Tobago! The Tobago Standards Showroom Warehouse Sale. It's on February 21st and 22nd only. From 8 p.m. to 5 p.m. we are slashing prices on everything. That's right, up to 75% off. Furniture, appliances, electronics, you name it. It's on sale. Don't miss out on this incredible deal. Tobago Standards. Nobody beats us on price. See you there.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. For those of you just joining us, you're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. My name is Dwayne, and this morning we have a board the game championship, and we have none other than Miss Janelle Campbell, who's a member, and a Kia Gunn, who is the PRO of the Mason Hall Police Youth Club. There was a bit of a mix-up information there. We do apologize about that. But this morning we want to, go all into fun and games. And for those of you who like board games, this might very much intrigue you. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to you, Ms. Gunn. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Very much a pleasure having you this morning with us. Just kind of tell the viewers about yourselves and your various roles in the Police Youth Club before we delve into real board game stuff.
Well, my name is Janelle Campbell. I am 20 years old. I've been a member of the Promotional Police Youth Club for like 7 years. So that was since I was in like standard 5. So I joined the Mason Police Youth Club because one day I was just running track and field in the stadium, and they approached me like, come, join this club. I was like, okay, cool. I begged my mother to join. And from since then, the experience has been so far wonderful. Very, 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 very much wonderful.
All right. Ms. Gunn, tell us about your stint in becoming, even the PRO of the Mason Police Youth Club.
So my sister joined the club last year, and I went with her as her guardian to Curacao last year on their trip. And while speaking to Sir for the first time, he told me, we are looking for a PRO for the Police Youth Club. Would you be interested? And I'm like, sure, certainly. And ever since then to now, I have been the PRO, and it has been a wonderful job.
All right. So is it that you guys love youth and youth work? Just tell us about, why you got into this thing. I don't want to believe it's just because of the trip you got in, because I might want to be a member myself, right? Because I haven't traveled in a while. But just tell us about your reasons and how you would have been able to contribute to youth work in your space.
Well, I basically joined when I was a youth. So I basically twirled into the, so it was like getting older and seeing what Tobago needs. It's like, I myself, as old as I am, want to be involved in youth development as far more, because watch how I turned out. I turned to be a tremendous young lady.
Yes,
so
certainly.
I would love to make other women, young women, and also young men feel the same way how I feel.
All right, good. All right, thank you very much. So you guys have this upcoming board game. Why a board game? And what is the reason, or what is the objective of having this board game?
Well, why a board game? We think a board game will extend more than what it should, just like the name. You just think, why a board game? The board game targets everything in itself. It targets mental, social, well, mostly social, because we're trying to get the young people to come together to make various connections in their communities and not causing violence and all those stuff in the communities. So we're striving for a better community with more youth engagement and involvement in the community. And not just that, we're focusing on one community only. There's this football, under 20 football game league that we're focusing on right now. And it's from villages from Collar Hall to Lansumi, under 20 specifically, because we want to target the youths.
All right. So Ms. Gunn, I don't know about you, but I remember growing up and seeing some of my older neighbors and things sit down in the streets and playing chess and playing cards and so on. Is it? Are you guys trying to bring back that community cohesion and that
we
kind
are
of
trying to
spirit?
bring back the old time days.
And my question,
long time your family will sit down on a Saturday night playing board games.
Certainly.
And it builds memories.
Yeah.
And that is what we try to do with these board games. It's not just for the youths. We encourage the parents to come out. We encourage the aunts, the uncle. It's for everyone.
All right. So Miss Campbell, just kind of walk us through the planning of this and your involvement in bringing this to fruition. If at all you were ever a part of the planning stage, just walk us through.
Okay, well, it all started one day where I remembered I am still involved in track and field, specifically shot put. So there one day, so I was like, okay, I think we should, have something like have a board game champion. I was like, seriously? I was like, well, we focus on more than one, but I was like, okay, well, if we want to focus on communities, we should have this game championship. And then we just worked on it, meeting after meeting, meeting after meeting. There was a small group of us who was like there every night, even up till Monday. We had a meeting on it, and I was like taking minutes for the meeting. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just trying to get everything right because I don't want to disappoint anybody in this championships, learning how it can develop youths. I just really want to make an impact as much as I can into this endeavor.
All right. So Ms. Gunn, we've been hearing youth development a lot. Do you really believe that, especially in light of what is happening with crime and how it might affect our youth, and even having some of our youth starring prominently in these crime-related activities, how do you see this this initiative, kind of bring them back and reel them into doing something more productive as it relates to youth development?
With the club, the youths have less idle time on their hand. They have training almost every day of the week. So the less time that they have to do idle stuff, the more time they can put into their self and participate in sporting activities, get into positive things.
All right. So you guys, the board games, we have plenty board games that we used to play. I know about Snake and Ladder and Ludo and Monopoly. Well, I never played Monopoly. I never played Monopoly. Right? I just find there was too many pictures on one board, right? And too many things happening at one time, right? But my favorite games were Snake and Ladder. I also like draft, or what was called chess. I used to really like that. I used to get my tail washed, but I really enjoy that too. Just kind of walk us through some of the games that will be present on this event, and then we could talk about the dates and possibly prizes and all these kind of things.
Okay, so the board game will be held on the 23rd of February, 1 p.m. at the Mason Hall Police Youth Club. Right? So the games that we have, Snake and Ladder and Ludo, which is for under 11. First prize $250, second prize $150, third prize $100. And we also have Monopoly, Domino, and Uno, which is all ages can participate. First prize $300, second prize $200, and third prize $100.
All right. So guys, there are prizes involved, and they say to test your skills, right? I grew up in a home where, my parents, kind of prioritize extracurricular activities. And, I think in every home had these games growing up.
Yes.
How do you see extracurricular activities assist in, the mental development of a young person? What is the correlation between playing a board game and playing Ludo and playing Scrabble and playing all them kind of games there in terms of your mental development? And do you see any merit in developing the mind of our youth?
Yes. it builds like skills and builds the dexterity of the young mind. So the strategic thinking, this is things that you need academically as well, or in the world of work, in the world that you need. So we think that the dexterity, the cohesion, that all of these are aspects that we focus on. That's why we chose our board games championships.
All right, because these things are quite important. Problem solving, critical thinking, having interpersonal skills, and being able to keep your composure, because I don't like to lose. And see, some children, when they're losing, they flip the table or they take up their board game and go home. Right? But I know that this would really and truly assist. And I want to ask though, is this the first and only stint of this board game? Do you intend to have many more like this? Do you intend to make it an annual thing around this time?
Yes, this is our first board games championship, and we do intend to have it every year. As we go forward, we would be including more games such as draft. All right.
So guys, Uno is one of my favorite games, right? If I want to come and play and beat everybody up, can I do that?
Certainly.
Right?
You definitely can come.
Good. Right. So guys, we want to thank you guys for being here. We were speaking with Janelle Campbell and Miss Akia Gunn, members of the Masonal Police Youth Club, to discuss their board game championship upcoming. It is on the 23rd of February, which is, I believe, this Sunday, at 1 p.m. at the Masonal Secondary School. So guys, even if you may not want to participate and you want to see a lot of fun and laughter, just go, and after you're done, cook your Sunday lunch and hang up your clothes and them on the line, and you just come from church and you just want to just breeze out a little bit. Just hop across to Masonal Secondary School and join this event. Guys, I want to thank you for joining us. Up next, we have Mr. Jesse Taylor coming to discuss the Windward Miss. Oh gosh, let me make sure I have her name correctly. Right, Miss Kersha Kent. We want to thank you guys for joining us, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Greetings everyone, I am Miss Kersha Kent, the reigning Miss Women Afro Queen 2023. Come along on this journey to see who will be crowned Miss Women Afro Queen 2025.
9 delegates are set to compete for the coveted title of Miss Windward Afro Queen 2025.
My name is Naomi Ramasa. Standing before you, I am Kalia Denum. I stand before you as Miss Jada Covington.
This highly anticipated pageant will be held on Wednesday, February 26th at the Sid Gray Complex.
I am Kershal Pierre. I am Julissa Sandy. I am Miss Kaisha Joseph.
One of these 9 gems will win my crown.
These talented women will be vying for the crown, showcasing their beauty, intelligence, and cultural pride.
Salam, I am Shanicia Walker. Hi everyone, I am the multi-talented Kian Jerry.
It is an pleasant day to all. I am Kairis Imari Manswell. Come join me to crown the new Miss Windward Afro Queen 2025 at Singway Complex, the 26th of February. Save the date and don't be late.
This promises to be an exciting event celebrating the rich heritage and vibrant spirit of Tobago. See you there.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers, to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. We give you that exciting rundown this morning, and of course, you get to meet the faces behind who was contributing to our rundown this morning. All right, this morning I want to welcome Miss Kersha Kent. She is the reigning champion, and I was slightly corrected before the show started that she's the reigning queen of the Windward African Queen show. So welcome to Miss Kersha Kent, and of course, right next to her, the hard-working Mr. Jesse Taylor. He's a cultural officer too of the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities, and Transportation. So good morning to the both of you.
Pleasant good morning to you and all of Tobago. Good morning.
It is lovely to have you all here. The crown went on before she came on, and I was like, oh, she ready for this interview. All right. So for our viewers who may be viewing, and I don't know why, but you all don't know about the African Queen show, I'd like Mr. Jesse Taylor to just tell us a little bit about the Afro Queen show competition from the Windward side of the island.
It is. So good morning, all of Tobago. So the Afro Queen show is decades old. It's over 50 years old, and it actually was birthed out of a need to preserve our African ancestry, our people, our roots, and how using the village as to grow the community and the people and that, so that fast track to now, we have seen many incarnations, and this year we are hoping to go back to the roots. So the show is titled Ancestral Royalty, a story of resilience, strength, and unity of a people, and it really mirrors the as African descendants, how we our ancestors used to live, how the evolution, the process, and the story all come to life. And we're really looking forward to the 26th of February at 8 p.m. at the St. Grace Stadium when the story unfolds.
All right, so we have a lot to look forward to from the African Queen Show competition this year, right? So I did a bit of snooping. Of course, the African Queen Show has been around for some decades, right? So I saw that you would have mentioned what sets this Queen Show apart from the others that you all would have had in the past. So could you just brief us here at Tobago Updates on what sets it apart?
Yeah. So what sets this apart is that in the early incarnations, the show was really a way of staging a Tobago de March Gras, which is really the night before Carnival, but was now done on a Saturday. So, but like everything else, you do the Sankofa principle. You go forward, but you always look back at those things that you've done. And in going forward, you look at how you could manifest and make real those things that, because of different reasons, you could change. So we've noticed over the slow decline in the attendance and perhaps the positioning of the show, which normally would be held on a Saturday. And now we have the influx of the cruise ship passengers arrivals, and what we have chronicled the calendar of events in such a way to give way to recognizing those things and to avoid other logistical nightmares in terms of transportation and those kind of stuff during the season. So they show it now on a Wednesday, 1. And 2, we have gone into looking more about the Africanness, as I call it, of the show, and how we could use this as a tool to teach and to educate while we entertain. Right. We also allow a creation of a niche market, utilizing our cultural stuff or buy local products, upcycling things, and allowing creatives in the industry to really evolve. Because we've seen through the Best Village program and other things we've had on Tobago Heritage Festival, how there's this new genesis, there's a new trend setting of people who are now doing stuff on the island. And so we see a good opportunity to promote them. Notwithstanding, this year the young ladies would be representing for not villages and groups, but places and continents in Africa, Pan-African countries that would have been through slavery and at one point in time came out to be victorious as a people.
Okay, all right. So that is a lot that has been packed into the Afro Queen show. And I mean, a lot of us would love to learn about our culture. We do a lot of things in Tobago and we are not aware of where these things come from.
Truly.
So I'm seeing that this is where the Afro Queen show comes in, where you will be able to educate the public public on these things. What sets this event apart from the other events of the carnival season?
Right, but this one is the only event of its kind that has pageantry inside. That is the ladies, young girls between 16 and 26, they have the opportunity to shine. But what it is actually a twofold event, because on the same evening there will be 9 other contestants in the Calypso Monarch vying to dethrone the reigning queen, reigning Calypso queen, who is Giselle Washington Fraser. And again, what sets it off is the fact that it was off the calendar for 1 year.
Okay.
So the show was not held. So Kershaw is actually reigning since 2023. So she has been one of the few queens to reign outside of COVID, to be really carrying this reign and really representing the woman and the focus and how woman empowerment at that. But then outside of that, the first category is really an ode to our carnival, because the young ladies are challenged and they all had to pick. So we have people representing Steel Pan, Limbo, Mud Mass, Juve, Camberley, so that it's all tied up in also in our carnival heritage legacy. So on one evening, you get to learn many things and see many things and hear some of the best calypsonians, see some of the best designers, some of the best creatives, and other things that will make up the show.
All right. So we have Miss Kershaw Kent here. She has been, waiting for her time. Her time is now, right? So Miss Kent, what does victory feel like, being that victorious Afro Queen for the Afro Queen show?
Okay, so firstly, the victory feels so good, because the night of the Queen show, I was very shocked. I was shocked. I didn't expect to win, but it's good.
It feels good.
It feels good to be the reigning Miss Winwood Afro Queen 2023 for so long.
For so long, because he said that you were the Afro Queen straight out of COVID. That's defying odds. Right,
Yeah.
and you reigned for 2 years. Congratulations to you from 2023. And I'm seeing that you would have the opportunity to crown the new winner this year.
Yes, I will.
Right. So great opportunities as the Afro Queen. Yeah. So what has this Queen show contributed to you as an individual in terms of success, discipline?
Okay, so the Queen show have taught me a lot. Bravery, because I was a shy person. I don't like camera that much. Also teach me how to help empower other young ladies like myself to go forward and follow your dreams. Because the Queen show was always one of my dreams to go up for, but you're shy and the type of person is, Yeah.
So this was you stepping out of your somewhat of a comfort zone, and heading into the, that empowering Afro Queen to empower other girls just as you. All right. So we are coming down to the end of the interview, but I think a lot of us, we want to know some information, right? But I know that we need to stay updated. That's what I need to say, right? So where can we find this information on the updates for the Afro Queen show?
The information can be available and is available readily online at the Tobago Festival's website, Tobago Festival site. You can also get information from the culture department, so you can dial through the public extension and get through to the culture department at Shaw Park, and any one of our staff and secretariat is actually there, so you can get information there that surrounds all the activities of the Winwood, which also has the Junior Extravaganza on Friday, and the parade of bands, which normally would be held on Sunday and on a Saturday. So the calendar of events is also online and very available. We stand ready and willing to facilitate anything. As it regards tickets, those information also can be had through the website, and we are now working on the various placements throughout the island where they may be available in short order.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Mr. Jesse Taylor. Remember, he's a hard-working cultural officer too of the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. And of course, Miss Kershaw Kent, who is the reigning queen of the Afro Queen competition for 2 years. Right, Miss Kent, that lovely smile says it all. You could see the winning behind that smile, right? So thank you so much for being with us here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. One of the things that I want to do before we go, you all might want to know who the delegates are, right? So the ancestral royalty delegates of 2025's Afro Queen show. That is Miss Julicia Sandy. She is representing Guinea. Her focus is Kambule. We have Kaisha Joseph, Zimbabwe, focusing on Limbo. Kian Jerry, Mali, focusing on Calypso. Kershel Pierre, Benin. Tambu and Bamboo. Jada Carrington, Cameroon, Last Lap. Kalia Thomas Dinoon, Congo, focusing on Mud Mass. Naomi Ramasa, Senegal, focusing on the oil drum. Shanicia Walker, Ethiopia, Juve.
Right.
Kyrese Manswell, Ghana, she'll be focusing on our national instrument, the steel pan. All right, so these will be our delegates for the Afro Queen Show 2025. Again, Miss Kersha Kent, Mr. Jesse Taylor, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having us.
They will be in later on this week. The delegates will appear here.
They will be here on Tobago Updates, right?
Yes,
so
certainly.
for all your updates on the Afro Queen Show, you can start right here at Tobago Updates.
Certainly.
You know, stay tuned to see those delegates in action. All right. Before we go, of course, we want to mention our photo of the day. It comes from Virtual Tours Tobago. It is the legendary Sea Cloud in Charlottesville, right? That majestic boat on the waters in Charlottesville there. This photo is courtesy Virtual Tours in Tobago. And last but not least, I'll just tell you who we have up next coming on to speak to us. You may know him as Chalkie, right? He is a Calypsonian, and this interview will be conducted by Mr. Dwayne Nurse. So we invite you to stay tuned and share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Greetings everyone, I am Miss Kersha Kent, the reigning Miss Women Afro Queen 2023. Come along on this journey to see who will be crowned Miss Women Afro Queen 2025.
9 delegates are set to compete for the coveted title of Miss Windward Afro Queen 2025.
My name is Naomi Ramasa. Standing before you, I am Kalia Denoon. I stand before you as Miss Jada Covington.
This highly anticipated pageant will be held on Wednesday, February 26th at the Sid Gray Complex.
I am Kershel Pierre. I am Julicia Sandy. I am Miss Kaisha Joseph.
One of these 9 gems will win my crown.
These talented women will be vying for the crown, showcasing their beauty, intelligence, and cultural pride.
Salam, I am Shanicia Walker. Hi everyone, I am the multi-talented Kian Jerry.
It is an pleasant day to all.
I am
Kyrese Imari Manswell. Come join me to crown the new Miss Windward Afro Queen 2025 at Singway Complex, the 26th of February. Save the date and don't be late.
This promises to be an exciting event celebrating the rich heritage and vibrant spirit of Tobago. See you there.
Greetings everyone, I am Miss Kersha Kent, the reigning.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 GB fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Get ready, Tobago! The Tobago Standards Showroom Warehouse Sale. It's on February 21st and 22nd only. From 8 p.m. to 5 p.m. we are slashing prices on everything. That's right, up to 75% off. Furniture, appliances, electronics, you name it. It's on sale. Don't miss out on this incredible deal. Tobago Standards. Nobody beats us on price. See you there.
place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning again, guys. This is Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show here live in Port Moresby, Tobago. My name is Dwayne. So for those of you just joining us, and unfortunately, this is our final segment for this morning on Youth Wednesdays. But before we get into our next interview, we have the back in the day photo for you to take a guess. So we want to put it up on the screen at this time. All right, so this is a special segment where you can guess. I think soon we want to be able to, for you guys to call in and make a guess, and we'll have prizes and so on. So while they're doing that, just think about, all the past photos that you had to guess, and you may have an idea as to where this next building might be. It seems as if the team is having some technical difficulty. Oh, there it is. There it is. This is the photo of, back in the day photo for you to guess. And of course, at the end of this part of the segment, we are going to share with you where this photo is. So it's going to be up for a couple of seconds.
Happy New Year! Be careful at the roundabout. My sweet TNT is a rich and blessed country, ethnically strong with great cultural ability. But politics in this country dangerously dividing we, causing animosity, destroying we social fabric daily. So we put two captains from Tobago to direct and conduct the show. One have experience for so, the next one is young and
segment. You were just viewing Mr. Alex Gift, also commonly known as and renowned as the Tobago Chalkie. He is a calypso contestant for the for the calypso monarch. And this is around carnival time, so calypso is one of our a key elements in the carnival periods. Good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Gift.
A pleasant good morning to you and the entire world.
Well, Tobago Chalkie, good morning. It's not the Chalkie, but it's Tobago Chalkie, right? And anything coming from Tobago
yes,
is best. Yeah,
yes.
Tell us, I don't know if I should start by asking you where you got your name and why you got him. But let me begin there.
And it all started at the Baker's Scouting for Talent.
That is years ago.
That's years ago, 2006. And all I did was sang a chocolate selection,
Right.
And that was it, because they had first before I entered, they had a Spot the Talent. And I remember I used to be working at the RHA.
Right.
And the guys there invited me to come to scouting.
Right.
But I did not know what they were inviting me for.
Right.
Because we used to sing little I was always intrigued with social commentary and so on. And I would like how those messages would be so banging.
Yeah.
So I started learning a few of his songs and so on, Valentino and so on. But then I gravitated to Chalk. That's his lyrics.
Yeah.
And these guys now used to bring a guitar at work, and they would play me singing.
And you would sing for them.
And I would sing for them.
Right.
And I never knew this. They concocted a plan to win alcohol in Baker Scouting. And I did not know. So I went down there the Wednesday night, and they had something called Spot the Talent.
Right.
And when they called for somebody to come up and sing any selection of any Calypsonian song, and they would win they had a black and white. And they literally arrested me.
Yes, and
and I didn't know what to do, so I had to sing the song.
Right.
When I sang the song, I won.
Right.
But then I didn't know the prize was a black and white, and I don't drink. I never drank.
Oh, so you never get none?
No, and they won. So every Wednesday I would go down there, and they would win every Wednesday.
Wow.
Because I would sing a chocolate selection until until they said, you know what happened? Get in the competition.
Yes.
I didn't want to go.
Yes.
And then I went into the competition.
Yes.
I reached late for the audition and all. They said, look, and then I won the Baker Scouting for Talent, singing a chocolate selection. I do rhyme.
Yes. So we have but a short time.
Yes.
Just quickly walk us through so you started in 2006.
As I won Baker Scout in 2006.
Right. So,
and then in 2007, I came to the two code. They had to hide me because I was so, people were so against me in the calypso world.
Right.
They were afraid of me and I didn't even come in.
Right.
And then they got me in there and I came second in the Tobago Calypso Monarch competition for the first time ever.
I want to begin there because I wanted to ask you, being a Tobagonian and being this talented, what is it like competing against your nationals in Trinidad? Is it, you just mentioned that they had to hide you and the Calypsonian world seemingly was against you.
Yes.
Where did this come from? Did it come from within in the Tobago space or nationally?
It is within the Tobago space only. Let me tell you something. Let no man fool you. I say it all the time. I say it without fair favor or ill will. Tobagonians' problem is Tobago. Tobago kill their own self. Once you are talented in Tobago, Tobagonians at some time, some Tobagonians find a way to kill their own Tobagonians. Because you are either at a professional level, you are professional, and instead of they go to reach your standard, they rather pull you down back to there. And that's it's a common thing. Yeah. It's and I grow to understand that.
But you know, you being here and being at this juncture,
yes,
it says that you're resilient.
Oh, of course,
you have triumphed.
Yeah.
So much so that you would have competed in Tobago, and you're qualified for the national semi-finals
all the time.
Monarch, and I just want to ask you, how many times have you qualified for the semi-finals?
Since 2009.
Wow.
Since 2009.
Wow, and that's
the only time I didn't qualify was when I was my father had died 1 year. Then I couldn't complete the next year because something happened, and then just recently I say something. I was incarcerated for 2 years, and I didn't. Right. So then and they were fortunate. I mean,
but you're coming back. You came back with your guns loaded, man.
Yeah,
right?
I'm back because class is class.
Yes.
You see?
Yes. So that song that we just saw there. What is the name of the song? What is the inspiration behind the song?
Yes.
It's as you rightfully said. Calypsos have a lot of nice innuendos and hidden meanings and so on.
Yeah.
Just walk us through that.
Well, after last year when I sang The Feud, I took a game show, Family Feud, and created a kaiso from that.
Right.
That has never been done.
Right. Very creative.
Very creative.
Yes.
And I said, look, I'm accustomed doing these things, and I said, what will I write for 2025? And I didn't write a kaiso because October was coming up.
Right.
And I said, look, and about 1 month or 2 months before the October Carnival, the roundabout opened. I said, because I was driving up there and I said, I said, this is a nice calypso.
Yes.
The roundabout.
Yes.
And that was it. And
Yes.
And then we have to, and we need to encourage our Tobago artists to write.
And while we're on this topic of writing, as a calypsonian, how do you approach writing your songs? I mean, do you write your own songs even?
All the time.
So is it that you wait for the most topical issue to a most provoking issue to write your songs? Just tell us about that.
It's like okay, it's like there are so many things happening around you, but you listen to what the people say.
Yes.
What is affecting the people.
Yes.
Because I always tell them, a calypsonian is the mouthpiece of the people.
Yes.
You're like a preacher.
Yes.
You understand? You go there to give a message, to tell a message, to give an advice, to tell them something in song that they must say, ooh, yes, it's true. Sometimes they forgot something. You have to make them aware of something. And that is what Calypso is all about. Making people aware of their surroundings.
Yes.
And that is as simple
and
as that.
you seem quite passionate about this.
Of course.
And you as it seems as if also you take your passion
Very
into
seriously.
your songs.
Yeah,
right?
very seriously.
So my final question to you is, Mr. Gift. Tobago Chalkie. Or T Chalkie, I could call it. T Chalkie. Right? In this, what do you hope to bring, entering into the semifinals as a Tobagonian? Because, sometimes Tobago yes, you are right, sometimes we fight amongst ourselves. But we have a greater fight, which is to put ourselves on. We are but a small island of very small villages. What do you hope to bring for Tobago? Because I am very pro giving Tobago autonomy. I'm pro Tobago, and I haven't always been like that, because we have been shadowed by our bigger sister Trinidad. It's in the name, Trinidad and Tobago is after the and. So what do you hope to bring for Tobago when you go down to Trinidad to cut their tail?
Now, I've always said, we use the word autonomy, but do we understand what autonomy is? It's like you have a child in your house, and that I want more, I want to have this, and then they don't even understand what they're asking for, and you say, okay, this is the water bill, and this is the TNTech bill, and this is the internet bill. Which one can you pay? And then they recognize that they do not have an income to pay those bills. So what are we fighting for? This is a twin island state. We say autonomy, right? But they don't know what they're asking for. Our form of autonomy, of our understanding of autonomy, is to fight Trinidad and hey, look now, stay away from me. But we need Trinidad in order to exist.
Yes.
And Trinidad need us in order to exist.
Yes.
Three-quarter or half of the people living in Trinidad in top positions are Tobagonians.
And you're right.
I'm telling you.
And you're right.
Tobago, technically, it's about 300 and something thousand people. We only have 60,000 here.
Yes.
Where they are, they're major. So what are we talking about? We need to educate the people. And then this is that, and every day uses at every election to hoodwink the people. There is nothing called autonomy. What is wrong with these people?
So we want to thank you very much. But quickly, leave us with something, man. Give us something, let me close off the show. And I want to put in there, you have to say share the live, and then we close off, right? In your song.
Okay. All right, let's see.
Yeah. Right? Go ahead. Give a nice little lyrics there, man.
Sweet TNT is a rich and blessed country. Ethnically strong with great cultural ability. But politics in this country dangerously dividing we, causing animosity, destroying we social fabric daily. So we put two drivers from Tobago to direct and conduct the show. One have experience for so, the next one young and vibrant, The both of them had the same mandate to drive poverty out the gate, raise crime and hate to alleviate, a new country they must create. So share the life.
All right. Thank you. That is Tobago Chalkie, Mr. Alex Gift, guys. We want to wrap up by pulling back up on the screen again the back in the day photo for your guessing. Right? Does anybody have the answer to that? Let me just pull up your live, guys. Anybody want to make a guess quickly? Mr. Gift, you don't say nothing. Right? You don't say nothing. Right, so this is the General Administration building, the courthouse on Jerningham Street at Scarborough, and this is in the 1950s. Right, I think this is Assembly Legislature, where it is now. That is by James Park, there by courts. Right, our old court which is now our Tobago Parliament. So guys, this wraps our Youth Wednesday show on the Tobago Updates television. We want to thank you for joining us. Apart from just sharing the live, just share the love, be safe during this carnival season, and soup up on your, drink up on your bush medicine and your ginger, your garlic, your lemongrass, because you always have around these times the common cold going around. So just make sure that you're healthy and you're well rested and well hydrated, and remember to share the live. We go over to GMT Tobago.
That man license only my class 3. He don't even have a degree. He can't talk properly. I feel it. Singing it plain. So damn shame. They're making me feel to go and vote again. Never again. I'm feeling shame. All vote writers going down in the train. Eric Williams in pain. Prophet!
Your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Recall that Operation Gulfstreams began on that fateful morning, just mere days before our national carnival on the 7th of February 2024. The impacted area was something like 15 kilometers of space, starting from Scarborough, going way down to Pettigrew, just behind my back. And it results in the removal of waste to the extent close to 60,000 barrels of oiled waste and over 23,000 cubic yards of waste materials that were moved, which was stored at Stolipa. It is 6 o'clock in the morning. The fisher folks are ready to go out to sea to check on booms, to make sure that the booms are intact. These booms were utilized. So you have that process taking place. You have diving taking place, looking at what is happening below the sea and the challenges. So this is divided up into two major operations. What is happening on shore, shoreline cleanup, and also out at sea, the inventorying of the vessel taking place simultaneously. And then at the end of the day, around 6 o'clock, you have after action review, where the chief secretary will call the committee and the players together and say, let us review the day, so you could identify what are the objectives, what are the lessons, what are the challenges, and what do you do the next day in terms of preparation. So those were part of the process to make a full day of operation. It took us 196 days of abatement, containment, and cleaning of our water courses and our beach area. After we would have dealt with the shoreline cleanup activities, the ministry had a responsibility to now take care of the vessel. That process they call de-inventory. The de-inventory exercise saw also another close to 30,000 barrels of liquids being extracted, or what you call hydrocarbon. That depository into the Scott Mulchan vessel, that activity took some 77 days of activities to take place, and this is where we are today. I want to thank you very much for all the support and the endurement that you would have extended to TEMA and the emergency workers during that period. I think it was well received, and I'm happy to be a part of that process.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. As a part of ongoing anti-crime operations under the state of emergency, police have arrested 84 people, including a man identified as a high-ranking gang member in Tobago. Officers of the Tobago identified the suspect as a key figure in local Rasta City and 7 gang, accusing him of drug trafficking and obtaining firearms for violent crimes. Since December 30th, officers have conducted 190 operations targeting 235 priority offenders and executing 258 searches. They recovered 4 pistols and uncovered 272 traffic offenses. Tobago recorded 2 murders as of February 18th, both solved. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine has called for more resources to combat the island's 28 criminal gangs. Additionally, the University of Trinidad and Tobago has assigned an MOU with the Tobago House of Assembly's Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development to enhance research and education in agriculture. The agreement aims to support local communities and national development by improving agricultural production and entrepreneurship. UTT's Bioscience, Agriculture and Food Technology programs will provide technical support to farmers. UTT Chairman Professor Clement Imbert emphasized the partnership's role in strengthening Tobago's agricultural resilience, while Chief Secretary Farley Augustine highlighted the benefits to training students locally to reduce travel to Trinidad. And finally, CARICOM's 48 Heads of Government Conference, attended by Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, and Minister Dr. Amory Brown, begins today in Barbados. UN General Secretary Antonio Guterres and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, will attend, with Guterres holding talks on Haiti and regional issues. Key topics include food security, climate change, security, and economic integration. Rowley chairs CARICOM's regional security and cricket committees. CARICOM officials stress unity and advocacy, highlighting priorities such as digital development, intra-regional transportation, and global engagement in 2025 and beyond. And that was on news in 90 seconds. This morning we are having a hearty discussion as we talk about Tobago's contribution. Now, for many persons, there still is the idea or the misconception that Tobago's autonomy should hinge on Tobago's ability to contribute to the national economy, and what percentage of that of the overall economy does Tobago's revenue generation account for. So this morning we are having that conversation, and we are having that conversation with no other than former Assemblyman and former Minority Leader, Mr. Ashwood Jack. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Ms. Felix, and thank you very much for having me this morning. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning to all those persons who are viewing us on the World Wide Web. I am more than happy to be here this morning so that we can continue the discussion on Tobago's position, and in this case, contribution to Trinidad and Tobago. And I think it all comes back down to, are we positioned to be able to access and to finance ourselves, whether it be through autonomy or any other means of governance.
Excellent. And as I indicated before, there are persons who have the idea that Tobago does not make enough to stand on its own and does not contribute significantly enough to the national economy to want to have a say as it pertains to autonomy. We heard something of that nature by our previous guests that was sitting here and talking about Calypso, and that highlighted how many persons view autonomy and view Tobago and its ability to contribute overall.
In fact, it was interesting to hear in his closing remarks, he said, no, there's nothing like autonomy. And it speaks to how uninformed a lot of our citizens are. And of course, Calypso being one of those art forms that has a certain influence and a certain sway. It's dangerous when one of the persons who are proponents of the art could openly come up with such an idea enough to so convinced as to share it. But be that as matters it way, you know, there are people for everything. So I don't know if people have looked at Tobago in the way it should be looked at, because as long as I could remember, this argument have been made against Tobago by some people in Tobago, and I think it's because of laziness. It's the laziness that people don't want to do the research. It is the laziness that people think that, it is okay to just sit down and wait on something. And regardless of how much evidence you put thrust in the face of some people, their position will remain the same. Right? You know, I am told, as a very young man, I was told that a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion. So then there are some people, regardless of how much information is available, their will says that, hey, this is what Tobago is. It is our responsibility to work with those people, but it is our greater responsibility to educate younger people so that they understand that they don't have to be seen as mendicants. And, you know, this morning, I was about to get ready to come to this program, and my mind kept running back to people like Arthur N.R. Robinson, Hochoy Charles, Reggie Dumas, Jeff Davidson, Winston Murray, and the contribution that they would have made. And I'm thinking maybe this island just have to have a Heroes Day and do some education of young Tobagonians as a contribution, because we are fighting the same fight for 50, 60 years, and there are some people who are on the same spot, generations on the same spot, not understanding. I don't know if I would really have liked to jump off this session based on that by, I don't know if Mr. Wood have a copy of the last building blocks, because I would really want to show the building blocks and to show why what we are saying really has no basis in fact and or reality.
Well, I will ask my producer if he can also pull that photograph up of the Deepwater bidding blocks that are open, with 26 blocks up for grabs.
Yeah, and while we're waiting on that to come up, that is so important, because Tobago have always been told that we are dependent And I'm quite sure you have heard me say this before, Chanel, that if you drive, and you're a country girl, so if you drive into the country in the evening, you will realize that and you're in the Goodwood area, and you start anyway from Study Park, and you start looking eastward, you will notice the flares that are burning and stuff like that. And I have always said how far that was away from Trinidad. But we tend to just take everybody else's idea. But the bidding blocks that we have up for grabs in the 2025 round of bidding, it is so glaring that a blind man with a board glasses could see where they are. But I don't know if it is by chance or by design that when the bidding started, when the blocks were put up, and it's up, when the blocks were put up, it was the same time that there was the issue with Commissioner Christopher. And so everything else got lost in that conversation. And I would just want us to turn our attention to what is on the screen. If you notice, these are the bidding blocks that the government the Ministry of Energy have put up for bid in the 2025 season. And if you notice at the upper part of the photo, everything at the upper part of the photo is extremely far from Trinidad. And those are in what is now considered to be, if Tobago is an independent or separate island, that would be in Tobago waters. And then when you look across at my right, I think it will be on your left, you will also recognize that the closeness, the proximity of the largest block to Tobago vis-a-vis to Trinidad. And so if you look at
Block 24.
I think it's 25. But if you look at all those, what you recognize that what you have out of the 26 blocks, you have 19 of those blocks will be considered to be in the Tobago space. And only 7 of those blocks are considered to be in the Trinidad space, with the largest block comprising of over 2 or 3 of the other beginning blocks, all in Tobago. What does that mean? And of course, this is not all. These are what are up for bid. They are those blocks that have already been bidded on. Who have people have had those blocks for a while, which is the block 22, and there are 2 of them. But block 22 is already under production, right? And I've been saying that for months. You have never heard any government official, inclusive of our own representative, admit that the block 22 is a producing block. So when people say you don't bring anything, and yet the majority of your new bidding rounds are in Tobago, the potential for your greatest production as it is now on rounds that have already been built on and is coming on for production is off the Castara Partivere area, then you realize that there need to be a more intense education program that tells not only people of Tobago, because it was a couple of weeks ago I was listening to a radio program in Trinidad. I think it was just around the time that the bidding block came out. And one of the radio hosts was saying, but it is said that Tobago have a lot of natural gas and oil. And a couple of persons called into the program and saying, you're talking stupidness. And I don't want to call the host's name. And he was saying, no, we're looking at this thing, and you're saying, but that stupidness, Tobago have no this. And that is because I think in part, the Tobago's thrust for autonomy have not been centered as much as it should be on our economic contribution to Trinidad and Tobago. And I'll get back to the oil and gas, but there's also the situation where, because of Trinidad's location, Trinidad is actually blocked in by Tobago, Venezuela, Grenada. So they're not that far. But Tobago, on the other hand, has Trinidad as a neighbor. It has Barbados as a neighbor, which is a lot further afield. And then outside of that, we go all the way out to the African Ocean, which is Tobago brings to that in that area the 200 miles permissible by law of exclusive economic zone, and that is why we fish in. That is what a number of things take place in, and because people don't understand that, they think that Tobago is just the 116 square miles. I've said this before, and I want to repeat it, that countries are no longer determined by their land space, but countries are determined by their land space and the amount of waters around them that they either share with neighbors 50-50, or in the case of if you have extensive bodies of water, the exclusive economic zone is 200 miles, and then out of that is international waters.
So I had a conversation some time ago with the representative, the MP for Tobago West, Shamfa Lewis, and she indicated that it would not be wise for Tobago to seek the profits from what is in Tobago waters, because that will then hinder Tobago from being able to benefit from what is in the waters that may be considered Trinidad waters. Now, she did highlight the NGC map for Trinidad and Tobago, the energy map, and I am going to try to also get my producer to put that one up as well as I send that over to him. But what she was indicating is that though there is gas finds in the Tobago waters, there are no oil finds in the Tobago waters. True. So they're based on the NGC map and how they have color coded it. They have color coded red for gasoline and green for oil.
Okay, I'm quite sure
and
when you put up
the
map, you'll recognize the difference. Because, and it's interesting that this is the same argument I have been hearing since I was a child. And it seems as though that organization seemed to be making the same argument against Tobago seeking any form of economic independence. And I don't know if it's a brainwashing. I don't know if it's orientation. I don't know what it is. But it seems as though every one of their representatives have given up an independent thought to just parrot the speaking points of the organization. Right? And I don't know when, even in these gas finds, you hear how they are described? 50 miles southeast of Trinidad. Why don't you Trinidad and Tobago to 22 miles apart? So 50 miles southeast is way into Tobago.
Right.
You know? So I have heard the non-argument. I have heard I call it an excuse. And I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all, based on what we know and what we are seeing. At first, we didn't have. I know they're showing up, Bob said don't have. And now they're saying, okay, you have gas, but not oil. So don't worry about having gas. But we have known for the longest while that Tobago is sitting on a bed of gas and oil. And the evidence is there to show. Well, now you're seeing it clearer than ever. With some of the gas fields expected to yield more than 3 trillion cubic meters of gas.
And the map is presented
Right.
here. So we see on the Tobago end, where it's in red, that has to do with the gasoline finds. And they are saying that where there's green, and you look at Trinidad, and you see a number of both red and green, that's where.
And no one is just saying that because on the Point 14 area is further away from Tobago. But if you look at the size of the blocks outside the red outside of Tobago, you reckon the size of it. And therefore, no one has said what is the expected yield or what have been drawn from those. So it's not that Tobago to have 10 gas fields. But you're telling me that Tobago doesn't contribute. And I'm saying, listen, apart from just the oil and gas, and because I heard the same minister made a argument. I had sent it on another station. I showed what they were saying before 2013 and how diametrically opposed those two thoughts were in 2024. Which was saying that, yes, you have oil and gas, but do you have the money to monetize it? I mean, it's like, huh? And I still have it on my phone. I would never get rid of it because it wasn't making sense to me. And I'm saying, we were saying the same thing about Guyana,
Exactly, right.
Suriname,
Yeah.
Brazil.
But then you had a number of international investors coming in and providing the resources needed to go in.
Wherever there is need for resources, there will be investors because investors know I will make money from this. So here we have, in one bid, 19 blocks for bid. And you're telling me Tobago would not profit anything from that? And it's not that we shouldn't, and we're not asking to take all the money from these blocks. So we're saying we must have a profit sharing arrangement.
Or at least understand what the
what
yield
it
would
brings,
be like.
yeah.
Right. And do you think that this is something that the chief secretaries should be championing and a conversation that
everything we go in.
that should
Everything
be
we gonna have a right.
prominent in the public space?
Because one of the problems that I think that we in this part of the world tend to have is that we put so much responsibility on an individual.
Right.
And governments and stuff rise, and political organization rises and falls on those individuals. I mean, I think there's a guy, an American philosopher guy, his name is Dr. Omar. I don't know if you're familiar with him. I follow him a lot I was looking at something that he was saying. And it's a fact that one of the things that we have not done as a people is to create leaders. We have big leaders and then they die. And there are another 30 years or so, or 50 years in some cases, before another set of leaders come. And that's because we don't set about training leaders. Because there's a crisis of confidence in our societies that says, I am afraid of competence. If people are too competent, then somebody figure they are a threat. They're not a threat. They're an aid. And so I think that what we need to be doing now is that we need to be educating Tobagoans on exactly what it brings to the national economy, how it brings that. And it is not that you're trying to move away from Trinidad. What you're trying to say is that you have as much right as the child in Trinidad to the resources of this country. People ask me, you say, but Jack, all of me talking about, because I have a lot of friends in Trinidad. I have a lot of people that I have very, very intense discussions with. And some of them are as lost as a number of the people in Tobago. Because remember, it is like slavery. We were taught that Africa started in the 1619 project around there. Around 1619, it seemed that but nobody taught them that before that, some of the biggest kingdoms and stuff was found in Africa, in the Nigerian area, Nigerian area, a number of those things. That's another conversation for another day. But we are seeing where Tobago is deliberately kept in a certain place, so that you seem to be dependent. And let me just give you a couple of examples. The law says, Act number 40, that every business operating in Tobago must pay their taxes in Tobago. Up to now, that is not done. Even the government offices that operate in Tobago, TNTEC, TSTT, all those, the VATs and all that, the money is put in a bag, sent down to Trinidad. And the VAT and all the other taxes are not accredited to Tobago. When MP brings its stuff and the VAT and stuff in Tobago, that is not accredited to the Tobago economy. All the persons who work in those areas that I just spoke about, their income tax is calculated in Trinidad. But you have to use the roads in Tobago. You have to get water in. All the stuff that taxes help to put together have to be done for them in Tobago. But even their income taxes and stuff like that is paid in Trinidad. The majority of goods, imported goods that come to Tobago, comes through Trinidad ports. And the custom duties and all that have to be paid in Trinidad. So what Tobago collect is not a true reflection of Tobago's contribution.
Understood. Well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back right here after this. So see you soon, guys.
Greetings, everyone. I am Miss Kirsha Kent, the reigning Miss Women Afro Queen 2023. Come along on this journey to see who will be crowned Miss Women Afro Queen 2025.
9 delegates are set to compete for the coveted title of Miss Windward Afro Queen 2025.
My name is Naomi Ramasa. Standing before you, I am Kalia Denum. I stand before you as Miss Jada Covington.
This highly anticipated pageant will be held on Wednesday, February 26th at the Sid Gray Complex.
I am Kershal Pierre. I am Julissa Sandy. I am Miss Kaisha Joseph.
One of these 9 gems will win my crown.
These talented women will be vying for the crown, showcasing their beauty, intelligence, and cultural pride.
Salam, I am Shanicia Walker.
Hi everyone, I am the multi-talented Kian Jerry.
It is an pleasant day to all.
I am Kairis Imari Manswell.
Come join me to crown the new Miss Windward Afro Queen 2025 at Singray Complex, the 26th of February. Save the date and don't be late.
This promises to be an exciting event celebrating the rich heritage and vibrant spirit of Tobago. See you there. Get ready, Tobago! The Tobago Standards Showroom Warehouse Sale is on February 21st and 22nd only from 8 p.m. to 5 p.m. We are slashing prices on everything. That's right, up to 75% off. Furniture, appliances, electronics, you name it. It's on sale. Don't miss out on this incredible deal. Tobago Standards. Nobody beats us on price. See you there.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning we have been talking with Mr. Ashwood Jack, former assemblyman and minority leader And we have been chatting about Tobago's contribution to the national economy. Now, when these conversations are had, there are a number of persons who think that the agenda is to be divisive, to say Tobagonians over here, Trinidadians over there. But how important is collaboration and relationship building to empowering Tobagonians and, Tobago businesses to understand its national contribution?
I am in the unenviable position of not being able to discriminate against Trinidad. And let me explain that. 50% of my children are born in Trinidad. And about 60% of my siblings were born in Trinidad and migrated back to Trinidad to live when they became adults. And the majority of my first cousins at a number of very senior positions in Trinidad, and their grandfathers and their fathers are Tobagonians, which are my uncles and stuff like that. So the issue of me being anti-Trinidad cannot arise. I am pro-Tobago though, because I live here. I live here by choice. I have a million opportunities to live here, but I live here by choice. And I have said, and I'm saying to people, listen, Trinidad will benefit if Tobago is developed. And let me just give you probably one or two examples. We have been trying to get license to export from Study Park. It means that once we get that license, we'll be able to borrow money to buy the equipment that we need and stuff like that. If that happens, with Guyana expanding at the rate that it is, that buying material out of St. Lucia, Cuba, a number of our Caribbean neighbors, yet we are said to have the best aggregate material in this part of the world. But we cannot enter into negotiations because, one, you have to get an export license that comes out of Trinidad. And if you want to borrow the kind of money that is necessary to upgrade the system, the easiest thing is to show a license, show the financial institution that you'll be able to pay back your loan easily. But it is not just Tobago, because Tobago has a foreign exchange crunch. And so if those things are in place, then Guyana will purchase from us, and they have been coming every day, asking for hundreds of thousands and millions of tons of aggregate. And then you'll be able to satisfy maybe, if not all of, but the majority of Tobago foreign exchange needs. And then you have another situation where anyone that you touch base with that have heard about Tobago speaks about the beauty of Tobago and the serenity and stuff like that. And yet the amount of money that is allocated for Tobago to do tourism related stuff, especially promotion of Tobago, is about 41 million TT dollars. And that has to pay staff and do all the promotion. Just the promotion budget for Barbados alone is in the vicinity of 80 to 90 million US dollars. We are talking about Tobago's promotion about between 6 and 6.5 million US. How do you compete with Caribbean islands that are spending minimum 40 and 50 million US, all the way up to 100, in the case of Jamaica, more than 100 million US dollars per annum on promotion? But when you say these things, people don't understand that one thing will feed off the other. Because if Tobago has enough foreign exchange, then Trinidad will also benefit from the foreign. In any case, it's your banks. So they put the money in the bank in Tobago, you know the majority of it will be sent to Trinidad. As far as the boss say, we need some foreign exchange, it will go. But Tobago, if properly funded, could become a major contributor to the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. And what we are saying is that now that it is clear to see what Tobago can bring to the national economy, Tobago should be given an opportunity to do that. And for example, Tobago could borrow a maximum of $300 million with the approval of the Minister of Finance. It means that you really can't borrow nothing. Because if the minister says no, then the answer is no.
Okay.
What is the limit to Trinidad borrowing? But yet, Trinidad have 96% of the budget.
Right. And I want you to explain to us, we saw a headline last week about a bolt being placed against the THA that if they would
At the Privy Council.
Yes, this decision was made in regards to Tobago needing approval to do projects above a certain amount. Can you
And
explain that
here
to
we
us?
go again, which is really a jump off from what I just said.
Right.
It means that I think Tobago had, at the beginning of this administration, there was some talk about the $300 million window being almost totally utilized. I think there's just a couple $1 million was left because the last administration had used up all that. It means that don't care what Tobago wants to do. I know there was a talk about the Scarborough project and all that, but once the government have to go into an arrangement with anyone, even if they want to bring the money, it means that they have to have the approval of the minister in Trinidad in order to do that. Where does that leave Tobago? And let me tell you how bad it is. And I'm not free to call the bank name. We have been trying to, at Study Park, to get a company credit card from FCB for years. And they say, no, the Minister of Finance have to write a letter, a no objection letter. And I say, but no, the money from Study Park is a company. And Study Park pays its own bills. And they say, no, the minister. But we know that there are two funds, the THA Act sets up a Tobago House of Assembly fund, and the Constitution sets up the Consolidated Fund. All the monies appropriated by Parliament goes into the Tobago House of Assembly fund, and therefore you don't have to ask the Minister of Finance in Trinidad to, if you tell me the secretary have to sign for the bank, for the credit card in Tobago, I could understand. But to tell me that you have a Tobago House of Assembly fund, and that is, I don't think even the banks are bringing themselves up to scratch in terms of what the law says. And that is why, and I mean, I see it, I'm going on, I'm hearing people talk about it. People talk about money going back to Trinidad, and that is not so. The Tobago House of Assembly Act says money appropriated by Parliament shall be paid into the Tobago House of Assembly Fund. Money unexpended at the end of the financial year shall remain in the fund and be used in the following year for capital expenditure. And that is why you will hear the talk about unexpended balance. I mean, I am not a fond of unexpended balance. I believe that if I tell you I want $3 billion and you give me $2 billion, at the end of the year, I shouldn't have a cent because you underfund me anyway. If I have to make an argument the next year for more money, I have to show that I could have spent all the money that you gave me. And so this thing about Tobago having to run to try and cap in hand every day, and I think what it does, it puts the Secretary of Finance and the Chief Secretaries in Tobago, all of them, in a very unfortunate position where they try to hold back some money and cut back even on the limited amount that they can do because they don't know exactly what will happen in the next year. And there might be some projects that they have projected for the next year. So they try to hold back some money in order to be able to have money to spend on those projects. And then what that Privy Council ruling, and of course we knew it all the time, but the Privy Council just put paid to it. It clearly says that if you don't have the money, then if Trinidad tell you no, it's no. So Tobago's development will always be stymied. And that is why the issue of Tobago sharing in the revenue for our gas and oil becomes so important that Tobago could have a real savings, just like there is a consolidated fund. It is my humble opinion that, not the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, not the Consolidated Fund. It is my humble opinion, if Tobago is entitled to 4% or 6% or 8% of the national budget, once there is a crisis in Tobago, Tobago should be able also to draw down from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund to the maximum of the percentage that is agreed upon. But it is now you can't.
And when it has to do with international investors investing in Trinidad and Tobago, particularly in Tobago, let's say these are charitable organizations like UNESCO and all of these international funding agencies that fund development in developing countries. Is it that the bold agreement requires that if they are to inject...
I think there's no objection. Yeah. The charter must have no objection.
1 billion into the Tobago economy, that requires approval from the Ministry of Finance?
Yeah, there's no objection from the ministry. You know, it is like, I think it's the IADB had an arrangement with Trinidad and Tobago for the home construction. And I think part of the thing was that they would not construct homes in Trinidad without Tobago being included. I know for a fact that the construction of homes in Trinidad started. Everything was done in Tobago. I think it was NIPDEC that was the project manager. And NIPDEC did all that they were required to do. But the government never accessed the Tobago part of the IADB loan. So yes, the houses in Trinidad have been constructed. In fact, it's like if you outsmart the IADB, you say, yeah, we sign for both of them. But in terms of when it's time to access the Tobago aspect of it, the government just have not accessed it. And so Tobago, that should have been having, I think about 200 and something homes constructed, because the government did not access the part of the funding for the Tobago House of Assembly. Tobago House of Assembly have not been able to start any of those and now have to go into a different arrangement in order to try to satisfy the housing needs in Tobago. I mean, and that can't be fair. Because if you tell me we can't borrow, IADB say, look, we're willing to fund you, yet you have to sign off and you still didn't sign off. And now you're saying, listen, if you want to get anything, any bolt arrangement, come to us. We have to sign off on this. And if the government decide I'm not doing it, then Tobago just suffers. And yet there is nothing that any administration or individual in Tobago could do. If the government get up in the morning and say, we want to borrow $700 million, they could just borrow it and spend all in Trinidad.
Understood. And finally, as we wind down our discussion this morning, we saw a headline that came up in the media, I believe it was a day
2 days ago.
Or a couple of days ago, on the Newsday, that indicated, it said, the headline said, Kamala coalition with TPP after election possible. And then when you read the article, it says that Prasad Bissessa said that the TPP is not part of the coalition of interest the UNC is trying to build for the election. She reiterated that the UNC will not field candidates in Tobago and let Tobagonians vote for their parties. Now, why do you think that these type of headlines are being circulated right now?
Well, of course, we know that the issue of election is coming, and there's a attempt, and they have successfully done it in 2013, to tell people that the Indian people go take over. I'm quite sure everybody in Tobago remember that campaign that the Calcutta ship was coming. And this is just saying the Calcutta ship coming in a different way. And it makes me wonder about the impartiality of the news medias. Right? And so that if you hear people when they go to people's homes, on the media, they might say one thing, but when they go to people's home, they tell you, well, them Indian go do this and them Indian go do that. And it's a horrible race game play to instill fear. And that is when you don't have anything to bring to the table. When you hear people only talking race, it means that is all they have. They can't come up with ideas and projects and proposals as to how we'll move this place forward. You know, I have heard it said, I think it's an African writer who spoke about elections. And he said, an election should be a competition of ideas. But what you see in this part, and in Trinidad and Tobago in particular, is a competition of colors. It has nothing to do with people sitting down and coming up with ideas and say, this is the best ideas, how are you going to fix this, and educating people on how you're going to fix them. As a result of that, we have a larger and a number of persons dependent on the state for even jobs, because you're not able to attract enough private sector investment. And you, of course, we know some of these jobs are very low paying jobs. And whereas if you have private sector investment, you'll be able to have jobs that are paying a lot better because private sector is about profit. And so this idea of competition of college, we need to replace it with the competition of ideas. Let people come to the table with ideas as to how they can fix Tobago. Let them come to the table with ideas as to how we can get successive governments and future governments to be able to give Tobago even what Act number 40 says, and give Tobago its just due in terms of a separation of powers in Trinidad vis-a-vis Tobago. We call it the Autonomy Bill. Because you can't have one set of people saying at one part of Tobagonian being told, you know, if you support this autonomy thing, then you're betraying your party. And it tells me that people see the party bigger than the island. And for me, that is so unacceptable. Tobago, in the context of the Caribbean, Tobago is a big island. What, Barbados is 166 square miles? Grenada, 134. St. Kitts and Nevis put together 71. Tobago is 116. In the context of the Caribbean, Tobago is large and should be treated as such. We're not a stepchild, we're not a mendicant that comes cap in hand begging.
Understood. Well, we want to thank you so much for your time this morning. Unfortunately, we are out of time. But guys, we want to thank you so much for joining us for this morning's conversation. We want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster right here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and hopefully I see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.
Starter